AI in the hands of people who are working towards bringing better life to humanity, I think that's a great tool. That's a great technology. For people who are trying to deceive people or manipulate people, I think that's the worst thing that could have happened. Then you are that, okay, that's the feedback is there. You don't need to take it personally. Once you shift the focus from moralistic judgment to value judgments, which is okay, this is there, and this probably is not adding value to the life of my own or the other people that I'm interacting with, then I think we can learn a lot from that.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Leadership Accelerator podcast. Today we have a very distinguished guest who is a co-founder and the CEO of QuantInsti. He's also a partner at iRage Advisory. I am very thrilled to welcome Mr. Nitesh Khandelwal. Nitesh, thank you so much for sparing time and a very warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Salejji. A pleasure to be here, and thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate the work that you have been doing in this domain and the knowledge that you are trying to provide to the people who are interested in this domain on how to build the ventures with the kind of compassion which is much needed, I think, in today's world. So thank you.
Thank you
for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nitesh. In fact, yes, the endeavor is to really help founders and entrepreneurs really and share with them basically stories of successful entrepreneurs. And it's really a pleasure to be talking to you today. So, Nitesh, I'll quickly jump into the discussion. And I was kind of going through your background. So you passed out of IIM Lucknow in 2007, and you started off with ICICI Bank. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how did that shape your, or were you already decided that I'm going to be an entrepreneur, so let me kind of wet my hands first and then get into entrepreneurship, or did it happen while you were working with ICICI Bank?
So I think financial markets was something that had attracted me from very early during my academic career as well. Even while I was at IIT Kanpur, I think doing BTech, while electronics was something which was of interest, which was great. But I found myself sifting through the pink newspapers and different financial markets oriented magazines in the library as well as in the hostel library. So I think that is something which really was kind of something which was there right from the undergrad. And then during my MBA, I further progressed into that domain. So I think it started off with ICICI Bank and had some great learnings over there, and some great colleagues and mentors to learn from. I think the kind of culture that was there at that scale, I think it was quite commendable. And while providing that kind of learning platform for the management trainees like us who could learn and also contribute while learning in that atmosphere. So I think it's quite wonderful. So it's quite positively pleased. And I've seen the mentors who were there for us, or the leaders who were there, who have moved on to lead different ventures, different bodies, industry bodies, regulatory bodies, as well as the different fund houses within the financial markets. I think it's quite incredible, and to have that initial handholding from people like them. So I think it was really, really great stint there.
Okay, so can you share some pivotal moments during these 2 years that you were with ICICI, maybe that really triggered your or that really triggered your entrepreneurial journey with iRage?
I think we were so that entrepreneurial seed was there because we were trying to launch that while we were in the college as well. So you're trying to do something in algo trading, because being from the technology background and algorithms made a lot of sense, since you have interest in financial markets, so algo trading was something which was of interest. And but algo trading was not allowed in India at scale during that time. But when SEBI opened up in 2008, April 2008, when they opened up doors for DMA for institutions and for wider algorithmic trading methods. So I think that was a pivotal point in terms of that. Okay, this is open now. What do we do? But so I think that's when the seed came in. That okay, that seed again got to the fore, and so that okay, that's we regrouped, and some batchmates from our college and others. So that okay, let's explore that. So that was the idea. But while working, I think at ICSA, I think there were many moments which fed that confidence to have that belief that yes, I can contribute more in this domain. And I was trying to create different models. That time it was more of phone based execution, and chat based executions which used to happen in treasury. Part of it today probably, but I was intrigued to create different kind of mathematical models which can try to test out different hypotheses. So using basic whatever tools which were available at that point of time, tried to create and used to share within the groups. And I think I got a lot of encouragement from the colleagues as well as from many seniors. In informal and formal ways. And I think that really, those moments really helped in getting that confidence that, okay, what we are trying to build, what I'm trying to create, which is linked to this domain, I think there is some value to it, and we can really do something about that.
So when you set up iRage, I'm sure that people, we hear a lot of success stories, but the struggle and the challenges behind the success rarely gets talked about. So take us through that journey of the initial years of setting up iRage.
Yeah. So I think we started in September 2009, and we kind of partnered with a good acquaintance that I had at that point of time to start. So I think initial period, we were trying many different things, and I don't think anything was working. So,
okay.
it was quite a challenging period, you can say, to keep that energy within that. Okay, no, we'll keep trying, trying. And I think that went on for almost 1 year and 3 months. And we burned through whatever savings and anything that we had, and it was near ground zero. That okay, what next, right? And and interestingly, I don't know how it works out, but that was a precise moment when we got something working. So just when it was all about to break down, or wasn't working and all. But I think I remember that distinctly. That was January 2011. So then it worked, and it worked like a charm. So suddenly the things that we are trying to do, the strategies that we are trying to build, all of that started to work along with the infrastructure that we are building. And then we had a great run. So and then there were ups and downs and all those things which are part of the journey. But I think the key struggle which used to be there, that was, I think, initial 1 year, 3 months. But I must emphasize that was also extremely fun, because we all used to live together at the same flat. So we had the same flat, and we were just burning midnight oil in the office with the partner, and at home, and used to go morning and then come back after midnight. And but still it was fun, because we had that drum set at home, and the acoustic one, unfortunately. So the I think probably used to complain we couldn't hear, but after midnight we play some drums and then go to bed. So I think it was so it was fun in a way where the struggle was there, but it was in a positive sense, where it was not creating negativity, but just reinforcing that okay, got to work.
So what was that breakthrough that happened in Jan 2011? Was it external funding, or was it?
No, I think it was more of in trading, you're supposed to create different strategies and create the infrastructure on which you can run those strategies, right? So the strategies, they'll make money sometime, they'll not make money sometime. So that depends. But breakthrough comes in terms of, especially in our domain, high frequency trading, when something starts making money consistently without fail,
Okay.
almost. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the kind of thing. So obviously you need to have different edges which are required, like in any business.
Mm-hmm.
So trading business is also like that, where you need certain edges, and we got certain edges. So one edge is, of course, the models that we create. The another edge is the kind of technology that you build. So all those things
Mm-hmm.
that we were trying to build for the initial year or so. So I think that came together to provide us that edge, which helped us in getting that breakthrough.
Okay. And I'm more keen about to know about the struggles probably that you face in terms of building a team.
Mhm.
Any new organization when they set out, one of the key struggles is you are probably struggling to attract the right kind of talent
Mhm.
because you're not too well known, you're not too reputed. People are not really, or people are very skeptical joining a new organization.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
I think we face challenges at different periods in different kinds, basically, I can say. Given that we have
Hmm.
multiple ventures, also, that also something
Correct.
offered the opportunities to learn multiple times, I guess,
Okay.
in different ways. So, so like in iRage, of course, the challenge is to get the kind of talent who is good in both financial markets and technology, right? So early
Hmm.
days there were not too many people, because financial markets were primarily people with in India till early 2010s, late 2000s and early 2010, 11, 12, 13. I think more people from the business background who used to be in the financial markets, right? So
Correct.
after the algo trading, then more and more techies also started to get interested, but the number were small who were
Hmm.
qualified talent, if you say. So that was there. So I think those were the initial challenges, where you had to get people who are good in certain aspects, but then train them to get on the ready on the other aspects as well. Say you're good in technology, but now you also learn about the financial market. So I think that was one challenge that we had to build. So more hand holding, more rigorous training periods. I think that was.
Hmm.
That was needed, and we did that, and that I think kind of helped. Then in QuantInsti, like when I was I kept my focus on iRage in my earlier journey in Mumbai and then in Singapore, and then later on I moved my focus more towards QuantInsti, another venture which was more on the algorithmic trading, creating algorithmic trading ecosystem, where we started with providing learning services, learning
Hmm.
education services for this domain to people across the globe, to the technology that we offer to various institutions for enabling them to offer algo trading tools to their retail users or any HNI users.
Hmm.
So that's there. So over there, I think we, when in 2016, 17, it was a small team, 10, 15 people team, which was there. And I moved my focus over there. So the idea was to attract more people, expand on that. So we faced challenges, yes, like you said, that you are not that well known, or you are not a, technology name per se. So iRage had a technology,
Correct. Yeah.
did not had a technology name at that point of time, because there was no
Hmm.
any, right? So when you're trying to build, I think that was definitely a challenge. But as we grew in size, and we highlighted that the pace at which we are growing, and those things got acknowledged, that time, then it became a bit more easier to bring in. But I think what other thing which comes in is also the tenure in terms of people who are coming in. So that's not even half the battle. I would say that you are getting the good talent, but having them, that talent, stay and nurture that talent to provide their best of their abilities to the venture. I think that's something which we understood by learning, and learning through formal ways, informal ways, experiments, different things that we did. But we are glad that we did, because that
Hmm.
really
Yeah.
worked well for us. So today we have like more than 50% of the team is 5+ years tenured in
Oh,
the
wow.
room, and given that to be really expanded only after 2016-17, so that's a majority period, you can say, which is there, and
Mhm.
that's something which really helps us in working on our mission that we are trying to build.
So how big is the team today?
So Irish has about more than 100 people, and QuantInsti has close to around 70-75 people full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned that you are a team of co-founders. So how many co-founders you are when you got together
So,
to build?
so at the group level, we are about eight people in the core team, which are there. So
Mhm.
so yeah,
Okay.
who are there? Who are most of us are batchmates from different colleges or near around the same years. So when
Okay.
we graduated, so yeah, that's there.
So I'm really curious now. How is it to build an organization with eight different people coming together?
Mhm.
Are there challenges with that model itself, with so many kind of heads coming together,
Absolutely.
different probably ideas, different views, different values?
Absolutely. I think values, yes, that becomes that's the core thing which is the biggest challenge which can come in. Other things, there are pros and cons, right? So different
Hmm.
people brings in different kind of skill sets, right? So when
Correct.
we started, we were four of us, then five, then eight of us who were there initially in the initial couple of years of our venture. So I think eight were there at that point of time, and everyone
Hmm.
was building a big, bringing different kind of skill sets to the venture.
Correct.
Some were really good in technology, some were really good in building and making inroads and building relationships. Some were really good at maintaining the teams and other things. Some were really good at strategy. So different things. Not that others were people are good in multiple things, but one thing which really stood apart, and that became the core that they were
Hmm.
providing, and that really helped us in that initial phase to grow and expand. We had a couple of core co-founders who had quit in 2016-17, so we had another two who had joined in during that period as well.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so that was there, but otherwise I think most of us still have been together for a long time, and I think that really brings in that eases out that value thing also, because everyone has different value sets, right? But
Correct.
you have that trust and respect for each other because you have been together for such a long time. It kind of become family, right? So you may have disputes, but you know how to
Deal with them.
sort them out and how to contribute to the household, right? So that's there.
Okay. So what determines therefore, and obviously the culture as you grow as an organization and as more and more people join in, the culture in the organization becomes very important. And obviously the culture starts from the top. So
Yeah.
when you have eight different people at the helm, how does that impact your culture, and how do you kind of nurture the kind of culture that you want in the organization?
I think first thing is that common minimal thing which comes in, that okay, this is what that everyone agrees on, so that is there,
Hmm.
which kind of creates a core of the
Hmm.
culture, which really helps. And then of course different people will have different ideas, right? So in terms of how the culture should be, some might want it a bit more aggressive, some might want it a bit more collaborative, and that also varies depending on what kind of venture it is, right? So different ventures need different kind of cultures. Say,
Absolutely.
give an example, like army would need a very different culture as compared to a hospital and as compared to a education institution and a factory. So all needs different kind of cultures which are there, and
Hmm.
I think that's there in our ventures as well. So like I focus more on like QuantInsti for the last 7-8 years. So there we have tried to build a culture which is more aligned with what we believe can bring the best for us as a firm and for our customers. So that's what we have aligned the culture with. So, and that has helped, because having that clarity that okay, this is why we are doing it. Because having a culture where you're just saying that okay, do this because this is good, I don't think that that is good to hear and talk about, but probably not
Hmm.
that it adds value on. It's only because once you understand that okay, we are doing this because this is good for achieving or reaching here, right? So in terms
Hmm.
of bringing more value to the customer, bringing more value to the firm, getting growth, learning, whatever it is, right? So that end,
Correct.
uh, point is also very important to have that clarity on.
Okay. So, what really motivated you to transition? So basically, for about 6, 7, 8 years, you were focused on iRage, and then you kind of transitioned towards QuantInsti. What was the motivation behind?
So I think it's the same group. So we are same group of people, partners who are trying to build that, and everyone is committed to all the ventures. So that is there. But operationally, yes, I think QuantInsti is something where you try to build things which is for the external world. In our trading venture, it has been more of trying to get the best of technology, best of people, best of resources, best of infra for our own, right? So for our own trading to generate more returns, more value out of the efforts that we are putting in there, right? But we are not serving the customers when we are doing any prop trading, right? So that's there. So that's a different kind of business, and it's fun, of course. But in quant,
Hmm.
it's more of interacting with others, external world, trying to understand what the requirements are, what how you can add value to these people, and how to go about building a team which can care for those objectives that the customer has and align themselves to help them achieve that. So I think the kind of challenges becomes very different as well. Even the talent
Hmm.
that you deal with becomes very different. So in honesty, where you
Correct.
have a business development team, you will have a marketing team, a digital team, you will have a support team, you will have a content team, faculty, different teams which are there. So it's
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think the kind of people that the talent that comes in, the resources, the team that comes in, that also is very different, I think. So it's I think kind of that was quite attractive to me, to actually interacting with the external world and trying to understand and getting that sense of adding value in the
Okay.
journey. I think that's something which I found quite moving for me. So I think I that okay, let me try to build that while ensuring
Okay.
it builds into a good business as well.
Okay. So let me shift the spotlight onto you, Nitesh. So, how would you describe yourself as a leader? What's your leadership style, and how has it evolved over the last 15 years?
Yeah, I think I when I see myself as a leader, I think for me the leadership is something which can help, not show the path, but help everyone to be able to play that role of leading their journey and helping with finding that path together, right? So I would say look at it things in a more collaborative way, while more open culture is what I have seen to work better
Hmm.
for the way I have tried to work, and getting that constructive but honest feedback both internally and externally. I think that's something that has kind of helped me a lot. And we actually tried it. We So when I came to lead transition to QuantInsti operationally, so
Hmm.
obviously there was. Of course, I was already the promoter, so there is not much that can be asked directly. But I would sense that okay, the team is not my own yet, right? So
Okay.
when you hire, you build, you nurture, you interact with them day in day out. That's a different thing. But once someone else is doing that while you are there as a part of the firm, but entirely, then I think that was there, and I thought that okay, let me try something. So I had this. one of the books by Sheryl Sandberg. I think there was this concept in which someone used to take feedback in a certain way. So I tried to get some inspiration from that. I tried that, where I asked all the team leads to come in a conference room, gave them a blank paper and a pencil, and requested them that, okay, next 15-20 minutes, go to different parts in the office, make sure that you are not in front of any CCTV cameras or me. I will be
Okay.
at a corner. Write in block letters and write about all the things that you find troublesome or bothersome about me. Right. So any feedback is good feedback till the time it's negative. And you, at the end of 15-20 minutes, you come back, just put that head paper down on the table in the conference room, and then last one coming, please just shuffle it, and then you guys can leave, and then I'll just go through it. So that's what we did, and I got quite a few points, 23 to be precise, on
Wow.
how I was making life difficult, or not adding enough value. And then I think then I thought a bit, and then I realized that, okay, let me try to do one thing. So at the end of the day, I just shuffled those points, wrote that on an email, and sent it to all of them. That this is what has been shared. So thank you for sharing. These are the development points that I have received. I will work towards that and ensure that we are getting better on these points. Now, the key thing that it did was, we always used to talk about transparency, but actually this brought in transparency in the real sense, because as even there were some really nasty things also which was there. So people could really believe that when I said that, okay, please give me feedback, and they could actually give that negative feedback, and there will be no issues on that. So I think that was one of the turning points which really helped, and glad to tell that almost all of those team members who participated in that survey, I think about 10 odd people, 9 odd people, they are almost, I think everyone has been there in the firm still today, 7 years
Oh,
down.
wow.
So I think so that's something which we really thrive on, which is feedback. We try to do the similar things on the from the external with the external world as well, and I really think that helps you become collaborative in the real sense, and work on the culture which you really aspire to. So actually, you see that actually happening there.
Pretty interesting. And I'm very curious, Nitesh. So we all talk about feedback and how to deal with feedback or how to give feedback and receive feedback. But the exercise that you talked about, how easy or difficult was it for you to first accept it? Because the first level of feedback is acceptance.
Yep.
A lot of times we get feedback and we kind of say, no, 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 I don't think I'm this way. No, I don't think. So what went through your mind, and how does one? And I'm asking you this question more from a perspective of viewers who would really want to incorporate this kind of feedback for themselves. How do you use that effectively? It's one thing doing the exercise. How do you incorporate it into your daily life? How do you really first accept it and then work on it?
I think first thing which comes in as for self-acceptance is that knowing that having that sense of equality, right? So which is that we are all similar, and we all have our pros and cons. So anyone who has a sense of that, okay, someone is more superior than the other because of the qualification or social status or financial status or whatever ways it is,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think that is what makes it difficult to accept, because you're feeling that, okay, no, you're better than other, or not better, whichever way you're looking at it, right? So I think if that true sense of equality is there, I think that makes it more easier to become more self-accepting. And once you have self-acceptance, then you don't have that fear or you know anxiety which is brought by lack of confidence, I would say, in yourself, right? So that complex is generally not there. So then you are that, okay, that's the feedback is there, you don't need to take it personally in that way.
Yeah.
That is one
The sense of insecurity
security goes
that,
away.
that
You're not insecure
correct.
about yourself because you have accepted that okay, this is what I am. Once you have that, then you can obviously whatever feedback or anything is coming in, that can be used to actually improve. So that's one aspect which I value a lot. And the second aspect to that is that when you're hearing the feedback, it's not the words or the feedback, positive or negative, which makes us feel what we feel, but how we are judging it, right? So that judgment part, be it for others or be it for ourselves, when it is what you call it, a moralistic judgment, right? So that
Hmm.
is what makes the feedback unworthy then, because then it's better not to seek feedback if you are more aligned with moralistic judgments of okay, this you
Hmm.
person is good, this person is bad, this person is intelligent, this person is not,
Correct.
I am this, I am that, whatever is there. So I think that once you shift the focus from moralistic judgment to value judgments, which is okay, this is there and this probably is not adding value to the life of my own or the other people that I'm interacting with,
Hmm. Hmm.
then I think we can learn a lot from that. And I have been grateful to a lot of people who have worked on this domain and from whom I have learned in real life as well as in, I think, through the literature which is out there. I think there is a lot which is out there to assist you in actually learning that.
Yeah, so in fact, that was the next point I was coming to, and which is for any leader to be successful and for any leader to really inspire and enable others. And a very important aspect is personal development.
Hmm.
And you talked about this feedback that you did, which is also a part of the same personal development process. But apart from that, would you, how much do you invest into formal kind of personal development programs, either having a coach or a mentor or doing some kind of courses online or in person?
Yeah, I think I fully agree with you that a lot of effort has to be given to the personal development. And we follow this Culture Quality Index, CQI, in QuantInsti.
Hmm.
It's 5 points which we try to follow as a team. And that's kind of the foundation for us and has helped us immensely in as we have grown in team and as the things have progressed. And which is trust and respect, which is your foundation. Second is
Yeah,
your clarity, so that you have a strong foundation, but you need to be aware of where you are running, how you are doing, what you're doing, why you're doing. And
absolutely.
then you have grit, because whatever you do, you're bound to fail at times. And then how resilient are you? So that grit is extremely important. And then optimize for work, because there are so many things which are going on and they can be priority. And you need to acknowledge that, okay, right now my personal life is my priority, or this thing is my priority, whatever is there. It can be health, it can be anything. So how you optimize for work, so that work is given that place, so that whenever things are more aligned for you, you are able to give your best to the work. So that's optimized for work. And then learn. So learn is actually our part of our 5 CQIs, which we have part of the
Hmm.
5 CQI points that we have kept. And learning, we have never said that learning about only about what you are doing, right? So if you are a marketer, then just learn about how to better things about digital marketing, SEO, SEM. No, idea is to anything that you're learning that is going to help you grow as a person and improve your aptitude for actually listening and understanding the perspectives and that are brought to you, and then working on that in a way that can add value to you and to the users and everyone, to the customer and all. So that's something which is extremely important. And we do encourage a lot of e-learnings. We have
Hmm.
external people coming in to take the sessions for the team for across different things, be it on right from your technical aspects, technical things, which even teams also take sessions. Like we have Wisdom Wednesdays and stuff, where
Wow.
team members will take sessions, open sessions for anyone and everyone.
Hmm.
Sessions are also made compulsory, which we think are really needed for everyone. So we request that, okay, if possible, just try to make sure that you're attending. If not, then we understand. But if possible, please do try. So that extra request
Correct. Yeah.
and or even from the other aspects of personality development, be it on the emotional health, be it on physical health and other things. So all those things also we try to build in, so through our learning initiatives for the team.
Very interesting. I'm not really surprised then, Nitesh, that you've had people who've been working with you for so long. These are the elements that really go into creating the right kind of environment where people enjoy working.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned those 5 points, and I am going to pick on one, which you talked about failures and resilience.
Yeah.
Right. So, talk us through some situation, and I'm asking you this question more from a point of view of the audience who probably are early stage founders or people who are going through the process of really not being able to find a foothold.
Mm-hmm.
Any situations, any anecdotes of failures and then the resilience, and how did you come out of it?
I think so. The failure, the most important part is that accepting that, okay, something went bad, right? And then making sure that you are not going into the postmortem, which is leading to causes just to fix the blame, right? Because in my understanding, at least, we have never found any valuable input by any such analysis, any such deep down analysis. In fact, we try to also make sure that we are celebrating failure wherever needed. So I remember this project a couple of years back where we were onboarding some systems, and it was a big change for the organization. Almost 20 plus people who were involved. The project was going on for almost 3 or 4 months, and then we decided to pull the plug that, okay, this is not working out, and we will just stop that. We will just cancel
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
project. And there was huge amount of, probably thousands of hours which has been spent by, because there were so many people involved, and some of them were working full time on that project.
Correct. Yeah.
So there's a lot of work which has been done, people working on like crazy hours to get that sorted, but then it failed. Now the idea was that, okay, and there were good amount of money which was also, lost for us
Hmm.
in terms of the people cost, but even the direct money that we had
Correct.
when
Yeah.
faces some cost. But accepting that, okay, something is not working, that only happens when you're not afraid of the failure, or the team is also not afraid of the failure, that, okay, now it's going to be a blame game. Because we actually had a pizza party.
Oh, wow.
For the 2022 people who were involved, so we had a pizza party, and we talked about the initiative, we talked about the things that we learned from it, and the things which we could not pull through, and how we can, what feedback, what inputs that we can gather to actually make that better when we are doing something of similar nature or some other project next time. So entire focus was more on in terms of how we will do it better next time, rather than why did it happen and who was responsible for it. Because everyone was working, and obviously mistakes can happen, that's a different thing. But idea is that ensuring that everyone sees that, okay, we are open to failure, and we are open to, that makes us open to learning. And actually we had a lot of learnings from that, which really helped us in the next couple of years or so. So yeah, I think that culture which comes from self acceptance to openness to having failure, because otherwise it's more like, okay, please try, and it's okay to fail, but only to be reprimanded when you fail. I think that doesn't work, right? So, and I'm
Correct.
not saying that
Correct.
you accept all kind of callous attitude or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It's okay to request people to leave as well, or separate out if it's not working or the things have gone low, but only because this is going to help you in achieving this thing in future, right? So that's what the objective is, rather than any kind of fixes for what wrong has
Okay. Okay. So another thing, Nitesh, is technology is an extremely important aspect of your business,
been.
and technology has been really evolving rapidly. So how has algo trading changed or evolved since the time you started?
I think when we started, algo trading was just taking up. So subprime crisis was still just the world was recovering. The GFC, which was there, global financial crisis, 2008. So 2009 is when we started, and we were among the early ones. And most
Hmm.
of the firms, not all, but most of the firms in the HFT space also, they are all around started around the same time as we did. And I think it has been an incredible journey because financial markets today, you have in India probably almost 60% of the volume comes through algo trading now. Right, so
Hmm.
in NSC, BSC, whatever the leading
Correct.
exchanges are there, so lot which has gone, and it has kind of come to the mainstream today. From earlier, it was very specialized thing for select few. Today, even in college campuses and other people are aware of quant trading, of algo trading, and they are trying to figure out ways how you can enter that domain and what are the skills that are needed. I think that's pretty incredible to see, and we are glad that we were in that domain, which has grown in this fashion. And we are quite positive further ahead because the pillars which algo trading stands on, or algorithmic or quantitative trading stands on, which is your econometrics, basically statistics, your financial
Hmm.
like programming languages, and your financial markets, market microstructure, and all those things. So these three pillars which are there, and I think we all have seen the undercurrents, which has become now full-fledged currents on the surface as well, in terms of machine learning, in terms of data, in terms of cloud, in terms of technology advancements which are happening. So I think all of that coming together, which are kind of the driving forces which you need in algo trading, or which is how it stands on. So I think that adoption and the popularity is further growing ahead. And yeah, hopefully it adds a lot of value to the markets and economies.
The advent of AI, what's been the impact? Has it really significantly reshaped your industry?
Yeah, yeah, of course, absolutely. Because machine learning and AI can help in so much better ways to the ways to manage your portfolios, or manage your risk management, and all of that. I think it's going at a very fast pace in terms of how it is helping in improving better in creating and improving on the existing models as well. So that's there. So I think it's something which is really helping in better predictions and better risk profiling.
Okay. So there's been this long-standing debate around AI, and I would like to take your view on that.
Yeah.
You think it's something that's for the good, or do you think one has to be careful with the technology, and you have to be? It's like could be devastating as well.
I think it's more to do with it's a technology, right? So technology in itself, but in my understanding, is not something good or bad. It's basically how it is used. So nuclear energy, whether you are using it to bomb people or to run the electricity power stations, I think power plants. I think that's how it goes. So AI in the hands of people who are working towards bringing better life to humanity. I think that's a great tool. That's a great technology. For people who are trying to deceive people or manipulate people, I think that's the worst thing that could have happened. So it's a mix based on how it is,
Two sides of the coin.
two sides of the coin, and it's ultimately us who are going to make the difference, us as in
Yeah.
the human beings, who will make that the technology is good or bad. So it's not something, technology in itself is just a tool.
Okay. And again, another very controversial kind of a topic. I wouldn't say a topic, but there are mixed views around it, and I thought I would probably ask you about it. What's your view on crypto?
Not something that I have very deep understanding on, because we are also regulated entities by SEBI and others. So there is obviously very limited exposure that we have got. We have only by the different, but we have tried to. I personally spent some time learning about that domain and understanding it. So there are definitely some use cases which I could understand from what I have learned, but a lot depends on essentially how the blockchain is being used, and it's basically crypto is kind of a fuel for blockchains, right? So
Correct.
depending on how the blockchain usage goes in, so that's there as a mainstream currency. I'm not too sure. So maybe something that might happen. Right now, it's on fire. It's going up like. Um,
Thanks to Trump.
yeah. So it's possible that it can become something mainstream, but I really don't have much idea on that to make a
Okay.
informed suggestion.
Okay, great. So, Nitesh, QuantInsti now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you've spread across almost 200 odd countries, if I'm not mistaken. What's the
Yes,
vision?
and territories. Yes. So the idea is to bring more and more tools and methods which can enable people across the globe, aspiring professionals, as well as institutions in their journey for algorithmic and quantitative trading. That's the primary objective, the reason for our existence, right? So we really believe that keeping things systematic, making them more systematic, making them more statistical driven, have the benefits of bringing the better side of financial markets to the masses, to the people directly, whether it be directly by their own participation or indirectly by their participation through pension funds or through the mutual funds and other ways that people invest in. So, because otherwise you're looking at discretion and your own hunch or tips or something, and we have all seen how those cycles have passed.
Absolutely.
So that's something which we really believe that doing this can really help in better markets, when people coming in not thinking about that for quick money, hopefully, right? So rather than
Yeah.
looking at it as investment, which will work in long term and help them make wealth while helping the economies grow and strengthening the capital markets. So that's where we look at, and we are trying to build the right from knowledge initiatives to the tools and technology which can help in achieving that goal.
Great. So, Nitesh, one last question. What advice would you give young entrepreneurs who are entering the fintech sector at this point of time?
I think there are two parts to it. One is advice for entrepreneurs, so anyone who is doing that, and second is on the fintech, of course. So the first is that anyone who is trying to start out, I think the key thing is to make sure that you are answering the why question first, right? So why are you entering into that, and try to get an answer. If that answer is anything that involves anyone apart from you, be it for some validation, be it for making money or social status or whatever it is,
Correct.
you should really think again, because that is short-lived and would not make it fun for you while you are dealing with the challenges, the struggles.
Hmm.
Or later on also, even the big hundreds of billion-dollar worth institutions or ventures also see a lot of challenges, at times existential. So it will not be fun. That journey would not be fun, because there is no such goal that you have to reach, because it's a journey, right? So the goals will keep on
Correct.
changing. So
Absolutely.
okay, I want to raise this, I want to build this, I want to make this much, whatever that is. That will keep on changing. So only when that why answer is just you and only you, that okay, this is why I want, because of whatever happiness or pleasure or excitement that it will bring to you, I think that's a good time to venture in. And fintech, of course, is a domain which is really uh, regulation heavy, right? So when you are starting off, that's not something that you really read about or think about that much. So
Correct.
so even when we were starting, like I said, that in 2007 there were it was crazy bull. So we had some sessions that okay, start algo trading, doesn't matter, but we said no, it's not allowed. The regulations limit that.
Correct.
So how can you start, right? So that having that awareness really helps, because in long term that is going to be really helpful. Move fast, break things, disrupt. All these things probably are not something which adds to a journey which is very helpful, especially in a regulated domain. So better to have more clarity, more understanding, and think of it more in a constructive way, that how you can supplement what is existing, and then of course you can try to see that how it can be replaced with a better solution also. So that's all part of evolution. That's all good. But yeah, so that's something which I really feel that fintech and
Would you also emphasize on governance? We've seen at least a couple of large unicorns really
yeah.
get badly hit because of poor governance.
Yeah, I think
What's your emphasis there?
if the reasons of doing the venture are right and aligned with that answer that you would have given to that why, right? Then I think I don't think that anyone thinks starts a venture by thinking that I'll make money at the cost of anyone. It doesn't matter. I'll just I doubt that there will be very few, maybe, if someone is doing that. But most people start with a positive intent to actually make value. But when the struggle time, the difficult time comes in, and then you kind of start compromising, and which starts with the compromise goes towards different governance issues, and can end up going towards governance issues as well. So that's there. So I think if the reason is right, even if you might do some mistakes, that okay, you made a wrong decision which was not correct from the governance, but there are ways to fix that, and say repair that, right? So that okay, you can work on that if the intent has been good. Right. So that's what we have seen in bigger ventures also, because there's so many things. There are mistakes which can happen. But if the intent has been good, then I think you can work things out. So having that good, correct answer to that why, or correct as in more self-aligned answer to that why, I think that really helps in making sure that governance is taken care of and is in good hands.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much, Nitesh. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming on the show. It was really, really insightful, a lot of things that you shared, and I'm sure they'll add a lot of value to our audience. And wishing you all the very best, both for QuantInsti and for iRich, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Saleshi. It was pleasure coming here and share my perspective. Of course, this is just one of the many perspectives which can be there, but I'm really glad to share mine. And thank you so much for building this platform and helping the budding entrepreneurs and the ecosystem with this. Thank you.